So I've been working in the arts probably maybe since I was in college. I wouldn't really say in high school. The thing that I love about the arts and the arts community is you're going to get a lot of different types of people. So not everybody's going to be the same. Not everybody's going to think the same. They're not all going to solve the same problems the same way. And you get a lot of diversity, you get a lot of engagement, a lot of conversation, a little bit of heated topics from time to time.
Yeah.
But for the most part, you're getting a really good sense of community within the arts itself. My background's in ceramics, and ceramics naturally lends itself to being a very community-oriented type of art medium in the first place. Part of the reason for that is kilns aren't cheap. Wheels, pottery wheels aren't cheap. Glaze labs and all these different chemicals, you need to mix glazes. Nobody really wants to have to buy that stuff on their own. And so it breeds community because of the facility that it takes to make that type of artwork.
Yeah.
I got into that when I was in college. I got addicted to it when I got out of college. Done a couple of different artist residency programs around the country. And in all of them, there's a strong sense of community. And I fell in love with that.
Nice.
And I think that's what kept me engaged. There's been a variety of different examples of that. I'll give you one from here, actually, that happened a couple of years ago. We had a family who came on scholarship for camp. We had two boys who had to come for scholarships, and I think they were doing it because mom needed to go to work and needed a place for them to go. I think they were maybe mildly engaged. She told me after the week of camp, or a couple weeks of camp that they came that summer, that they had a meeting with their family therapist. And these boys are pretty shy, really. They don't talk a whole lot. They engaged really well with our camp, though. And the feedback that we got from that mom after that family counseling session was that the boys felt like being at summer art camp helped them encounter their fears and conquer some of their fears.
Oh, wow.
Now you'd think they'd be like, I learned how to make a piece of pottery, or I did this dance and I didn't want to do it and I was okay with it. Like, the girls think I'm cool now. Like that, those are great responses to camp too, but like their genuine response was, I learned how to conquer some of my fears. And that, I think, is a huge part of what the arts offer.
Absolutely.
So it's to have more stories like that of people having authentic change in their lives because of their experience with the arts. That's paramount. That's what we want. We want community engagement. All the extra things that we also really want is tourists. We want people coming to Lake Wales because they enjoy the art scene that's been created. We want to see the arts really engage in economic vitality in our town so that we can grow and we can continue to have these really great experiences. But I would love to see the Arts Center have a satellite campus downtown so that we can be involved in more of the social district that we're developing in downtown Lake Wales. But again, paramount to all of that, it's the personal experience that people have and the growth that they experience and that they get to share with their families, neighbors, friends, that helps to build a more enriched type of community in Lake Wales. So that's a tricky balance.
Yeah.
Right? It's always going to be a tricky balance of trying to honor the people who helped build this place. So again, we've been around since 1972, over a 50-year history. You're going to have a lot of people who've invested a lot of time to get the Arts Council where it is. Even to get them into this building, for us to occupy this building, was a huge labor of love for a lot of people who've dedicated financial resources, their time, their energy, their spirit, and what they envision a local Arts Council should look like. So we want to honor that legacy. By that same token, you've got new people who, they don't know what we are. They're relatively new to town. They didn't grow up here. Their parents aren't from here. Their grandparents aren't from here. They just picked this town for whatever reasons they picked it. But what we want to do is make sure that they realize that, like, they picked a really great place that's entrenched in the arts. So we keep the lines of communication open, right? That's how we do the balance. What is it? The legacy things these are deal breakers. You've got to do these things because it honors this thing that we have built, as opposed to new people who are like, I'm not coming to that. I can't attach to that. So how can we find attachments for new people, and the interests that they have? That's probably where the balance is communicating with those different groups. And with that, we try things and they fail. And that tells us, don't do that again. Or we do things that are phenomenally successful. I mean, way beyond what we would have anticipated. Okay, well, we should try that again just to make sure that, lightning can strike twice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really good. And actually it's the stories, right? How do you qualify that beyond the quantitative things about numbers, whether it's money or attendance, and it really is the stories, right? So it is the impact that we have had. And in this town, we get to do that with the length of time we've been here, multi-generationally. So I can have someone who said, my grandma helped to get in on this place when it was co-founded by the AAUW, the American Association for University Women. You can have that person who's like, my grandma did that. My mom was the chair of the arts festival for like 3 years running, and she loved it. And she sent me to summer arts camp. And so now I'm sending, my kids to camp. It's that long legacy, those stories, that amount of involvement. That's really the thing that helps us know that we're on the right track for what the community is really interested in investing in and what they feel like they need to get out of it. What do I hope they feel? All right, so I'll give you an example. Right now, we've got kind of a feedback board downstairs in our gallery exhibition space. We picked 3 different pieces that we have in the exhibition, and there's a little yarn trail that you can do about, it inspired you, it caused you to change, make a change or tell a friend or something like that. And I think that those feelings of feeling challenged in a safe way, we talk about safe spaces. We want to be able to create a safe space, but we want people to really kind of feel like there's some type of challenge to that. If the Arts Council remains just a comfort food place, which it could, pretty little pictures, pretty little music, it's not going to do the thing that helps to challenge people to think creatively or to problem solve in a different type of way. And it also, if you're just coming for the thing you expect, it's not going to challenge you about what someone else's experience is like. So if we're offering different types of world music, if we're offering different types of visual art that's being represented or classes taught by someone you don't really know, and you take that chance of coming and seeing what that's like, you will probably leave a little changed, and you might actually appreciate that a little bit more. It'll open up your worldview to what's possible. We got lots of different types of partnerships. We see sponsorship, financial sponsorship as a partnership. Citizens Bank and Trust has been hugely helpful to us. But we've also had programmatic partnerships, so Bok Tower Gardens being nearby. One of the things we're really excited about this year is our second Plein Air Symposium. I like to say that plein air is French for go outside and paint stuff. And what we're able to do is connect the ecotourism that we love about the city and the garden that is Lake Wales, because we do this out of Bok Tower Gardens.
Yeah.
But we're having professional artists come in who are painters, they're graphite artists, maybe they're printmakers who know how to do that in the field. And we're creating these workshop educational opportunities for people to be able to capture the beauty of the outdoor spaces that we love about being in Lake Wales, and they can put that on canvas or paper and take that home with them. So that's a huge partnership. We also have a great partnership with the city and with Main Street, and that allows us to do open air free concerts that are downtown. We can bring all kinds of artists, performers in who can engage the public with the different types of music offerings that we have. And we can't do without that type of partnership. We have good partnerships with the county. We work very closely with state as far as funding and things like that. And it's all these multi-tiered partnerships that, thank goodness, all of them get along really well too.
Yeah.
That allows us to accomplish, the big stuff that we want to do. One of them is going to be obvious. It's funding, right? I think the reason why there can be a challenge with funding is because of the lack of interest and engagement. And that might be the bigger hurdle. How do you take a place? Artists, for a long time, we have wanted to create ourselves in a space that makes us special, kind of sets us apart, right? We did that so that like we could get paid more for our paintings, or that people would recognize the virtuosity of the way that we perform music. But what it has done is it has separated us from everyone else to where we've become so mystical and special that people feel like the arts are beyond them, right? Sports. Everyone kind of feels like they can play sports. We're constantly pushing our kids into sports because there's self-discipline, there's team play, there's things like that. Well, if you're playing a violin in an orchestra, you're doing the exact same thing. Self-discipline, and working on a team as far as a larger, group is concerned. What we try to do is make it to where we are just as accessible as sports, right? That you can engage in that because it takes practice and yes, some talent, but most every great professional will tell you that they had to practice a lot more than their natural talent, allowed them. So that's kind of where that plan comes in. I would say the biggest thing that I've learned through leading is you got to have a strong network, right? And that it takes a lot of people. It really kind of takes a village in order to make this work. You want to be kind to people. You don't want to alienate people. You don't want to presume things. It takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of time to communicate with people, kind of understand where they're coming from, what fires them up, what gets them excited. And you got to be able to kind of mediate between a variety of different people who might have different perspectives and viewpoints. Some people have a very firm idea of what they think their arts center or their arts council should be. And then there's other people who, they're, whatever you got for me, I'm okay with, right? And you want to be able to make sure that you can satisfy those different types of desires, balance out, the different interests that people have. So in a lot of ways, leadership, I would say in this position, it is about network. It's about bringing people together. And sometimes that's easy to do, and sometimes that's a challenge. I would say if you're interested in arts leadership, then start getting involved now. I feel like the biggest benefits that I had in this position where I am is all the other places I've been to before now, And I was not in leadership positions in most of those other places, some, but definitely not all of them. I was the underling. I was the guy taking out the trash. I was the guy mopping the floor. But what I did was I noticed how my leadership treated me. I noticed how they made decisions, and how they made those decisions helped to inform what I was going to do. And in all these different myriad experiences I've had great leaders and some awful ones. And you got to take whatever you can take. So you take the good with the bad. You think about how you would want to be treated. But I think more than anything else, it's getting involved that helps you kind of pull back the curtain and see what it's like. Because it's not an easy road. It has a lot of challenges. And it's good to kind of know what you're getting into early to see if it's something you really want to be dedicated to.